Good morning, everyone. Is everyone ready for non-farm payroll? Trying to make sure all stuff is working correctly this morning. Good morning, everyone. I don't know what it is. It sounds kind of weird. For some reason, my microphone sounds kind of low, and it's coming out one ear. I may have to switch back settings. Let's see here. Yeah, I think I will. Just for till I get that figured. Because I'm not really sure. Excuse the screen. I have to switch. Just trying to make sure my mic's working okay. Not really sure what's going on today. Oh, maybe I had that turned down. Oh, that is what it was. Okay. Sorry about that. Let me switch back over to that other. Sorry about that. I don't understand why that's just coming out. What about now? Just trying to make sure it's coming out both headphones. No, still. What about that? Okay, that's what it was. Just had to adjust one setting. All right, let's see. So we do have non-farm payroll this week, this morning. We starts in about 10 more minutes. Excuse me. All right, so we got about 9 more minutes before the non-farm payroll comes out. Then we also have S&P Global PMI numbers. Whew, I don't think I've seen this much 3-star news within like 2 hours. It's insane. Yeah, too bad Beulah and Oxenham didn't do like any kind of like 90% off for the news that we're having today. This probably be a great day to full send some accounts. Uh, we'll be switching over to the normal streaming in a second. We're just trying to get all of our levels and news and stuff kind of marked out here. So if we didn't have so much news, we're in a really great area for looking for a possible short or long off of the previous day open and close. But man, we're gonna get hit hard with this non-farm payroll. You're gonna probably see like a 200 or 300 point drop. Man, I would kind of think that we get a little bit of sell off or something this morning since we have been just moving straight up for the last few weeks. Either that or we'll hit all time highs. Then we either go down and go back up to all time highs, or vice versa. Usually, whenever we just just up, we're due for a decent pullback. Hmm. What do we got? 3 minutes left, guys. 3 minutes. Ooh. What we may do is wait for the total move and see if we can get some kind of like get a trade on off the candle here, like a 50% pullback. Less than 1 minute, guys. So be careful if you are in your trade or if you're going full port. It's either going to be a all or bust. Usually on stuff like this, your stop loss don't even work because it is so fast that most of the time, like, your programs don't have time to react. Probably looking like a 100 to the 200 point move. Woo! There we go. I hit back up at those all-time highs again. A lot of times you'll get the whole move retraced or the just 50% of the move back down to 80 here. It's really not as big as those moves that we usually I think we have on non-farm payroll because it wasn't even quite 100 points. I mean, it was like literally right under 100 points, like about 35 to 25. So about 90 points off of the non-farm payroll candle this morning. All right, there's your data wick. So it ran its data wick. Let's see if we start heading back down here. May go to a higher time frame and see what all-time highs. I feel like this is the all-time highs area, but I'm not positive the exact number. Man, just man. I was waiting to see if we get some kind of pullback. I'd like to kind of try to short below the 900s here, but you know, since we've already ran this wick, let's see if we rerun the bottom of the wick. So all-time highs here. It's almost like, do we have a big pullback this morning during the normal trading session and kind of make a run for that 23,000 up there today? So that's the only thing about all-time highs. It's so hard to get short at all-time highs because it seems like you'll just have pullbacks and it just keeps just constantly moving up without any kind of really good pullback. It's like, even look here, you know, all these just tiny pullbacks just constantly moving up. The same type price action we had yesterday. Did anybody full port the news today? I know that's kind of a thing. I hear about people full porting the news. We also have more news today at 9:45 and also 10 a.m. I want to say the 50% of the total pullback today is 80. If you're looking at the total 50% pullback off of this candle. Mm. 10 will be my line in the sand here because you wanted to hit 10 and pop back down. Oh, no. Ooh, 900 has been kind of a little wall here. I'm still looking for the 80 pullback. That's the 50% of the total move today. We'll take some risk off just in case it pops at that 900 again. Just so we minimize our loss if it pops back up. Anytime you're trading around whole numbers, it's usually always a little bit of a battle. And I still cannot get back through 900. This will be the last trade we take off this 900 level. So what we'll have to do is just wait for us to get below the 900. That 902 is also the London high. I didn't realize that until now. Yeah, so if you pull over this, so that was London's high. That's why it's so hard to get through the 900s. I mean, I know usually it's a little tough getting through whole numbers, but that seemed a little tougher than usual. I didn't realize that was London's high. The 80 level is your 50% of the total move back down. Got stopped out. Runner didn't quite get down there. We may just enter with a few, take down the risk a little bit. And let's see, that may just be a pullback. Let's see if we can drop back below that 900 level. Only if we're under the 900. So we lowered our risk just down to 2 micros here. Like I said, 80 is your total 50% move. Let me pull that Fibonacci one more time. That way you can sometimes get an idea about where we're going to be pulling back to. Right at it. So here's 50% of the total move from the high to the bottom here. So about 86. So we may get a bounce here, and plus that's on top of your 50 EMA. The good old 90 level. This, to me, this is like the worst area to trade. Anytime you trade between the 90 and the whole number, it's always such a battle. And we may get like a 10-point bounce off this 50 EMA. We'll have to see what happens. Right now, this is the total 50% of the non-farm payroll move this morning. There's no guarantees before the market opens if we get this far back. Sometimes we like to run the total whole move of the non-farm payroll, but most of the time you're only guaranteed 50% of the pullback. What's up, Francis? Sorry about that. I wasn't paying attention to the chat there. I was kind of focused on the charts there for a minute. Woo. Look at this pullback. It sucks it took us 2 entries to get that. A little bit of probably support in this area. I think I'm just going to hold this 900, even if it comes back and stops me out, because it's just 1 micro left in this possible move. I like to see if we can kind of hold into the opening to see how far we can get down. I would think that possibly we can get a nice little bounce out of the today's open, yesterday's high, yesterday's close area. bounced off the top of this leg up here. That's why I was saying there's probably support in this area. Yes, I noticed that this morning, and I'm not really sure what's going on with that. I I don't know if they automatically put like suppressors or something on my microphone. Let me see real quick. Kyle, see how I got to talk like directly into it? So I wonder if they put. There's no filters. I think if I add gains, I think it'll make it. Let me see if I add some kind of gains to it or something, if that'll make it louder. Ah, that was a big bounce off that. That might be too loud. Ooh. Better. Yeah, I think what it is, I need to do better about talking directly into the microphone, because what happens is I turn my head a lot and it won't catch my voice. Hmm. Yes, sir. I don't know if that's going to be our protected high or not. Equal highs there, so maybe it'll tap that, force the sell back down. Or we've already ran that 50% of the move. I mean, we could just be going straight back up. We can always add back into it if it stops us out. Looks like it's going to. It looks like it's probably going back to the 900 level. So it looks like we're not going to get anything off this runner. We were still in this for 1 point. So, but we did at least get our first contract. What? I definitely thought we were going to hit there. Like I said, we've already got our 50% pullback on this move. It was 86 was the target. If you pulled Fibonacci this morning at 86 area would have been your total 50% move. Then we ran back into some resistance at 80 at the top of this previous leg to the upside here before we pull back. So I am very shocked that it did not hit my my stop loss there. So our last trade that we're in, that's what we were targeting, the 50% of the total move. It should be a pretty interesting day today. If you look at the chat, there's a lot of news this morning. We have more news at 9:45 this morning, so about another 45 minutes. And we also have more news, non-manufacturing numbers at 10 o'clock. So I think what it is, usually that's split up in 2 days. But since the market is closed on Friday, they released the non-farm payroll this morning. Something else that we could be targeting right here is the London highs. So, which is at 902. Let's see if we hit the top. That's the previous day London highs at 902. So let's see if we hit these 902s, then pull back here. This is just one micro. So at the most, we'll lose what? 10 bucks, 20 bucks. What's up, Capital? So 902 is that London highs. I don't know if we're gonna get a short or not. I'm wondering if we hit those 23,000s today. Until further notice, I'm just going to say my short button is broke. Because we've been just going straight up. But we'll see what happens today. I usually try not to come in with a bias. I try to just play levels. I mean, honestly, that's usually how I approach every day. I don't really care which way it goes. I just try to make sure I have the right level picked out. That's it. Whew. Did you trade any overnight capital? No. I don't ever usually, the only way I'll trade news is I usually try to wait for the full moves over and see if I can catch anything on the 50% pullback of the overall news. So we do have a half day today. I think the futures are only open till the Crystal City. Is that the name of the city you live in? Crystal City? So we rejected the London highs there. And this is where we get that from. Here. What did that hit? Which one? Is that what this line here's for? That was from Monday. Off of this. This is Monday's. Let me see. Yep, from Monday. I didn't even notice it was there. I did change my settings. Unless they went back, they didn't save. That's the only way I can think. Maybe they didn't save. Let's see. 9:30, 11:30, 11:30 to 1:30, then 1:30 to 4. I think that was when the settings were off from the other day. So I don't know if they didn't update it until yesterday. It was just yesterday's levels. All right, so we got our last contract that we're in. All right, so probably no more trades until after the market opens, guys. Let's. All right, you'll have to show me which. Change these settings. Extend pivots until margin. I don't know if I'm just not seeing that. Oh, from all. I'm looking for it. Did I pass it? Okay, there it is. All right. I just kept skipping over it. All right, guys. So if you're just joining us, we have a lot of economics news this morning. So just be aware of that. Correct. So the first set of news that we had this morning, that was our hourly earnings and non-farm payroll at 8:30, and initial jobless claims. Then in 40 minutes, which is at 9:45, you got global PMI numbers. Right? Yeah. Then I want to say in 1 hour, we have the non-manufacturer PMI numbers. So a lot of news over the next hour. So just be aware that if you're jumping in trades, because a lot of times your stop loss doesn't work as good during high volume news. It'll just whip through it and it won't have a buyer or seller to fill you in. Then I don't think Manzini's levels are going to work as good today just because of news. To me, they just don't usually work as great during the news. We'll pull over. Let's see. Manzini's got 62.71 as support. Then we're all the way up to 90. To 63.03. So pretty much for shorts, we got to get back below the 71, and longs are above 71. But like I said, the market's kind of skewed anytime we have news. Kind of takes a minute to get back in where it feels normal. Like I said, guys, probably no more trades until after the market opens. We're definitely going to approach with caution today. We really don't want to mess up any of our funded account profits. We got a little bit red on our evals from trading last night, plus messing around this morning. So this is the funded account here. So we broke the 1,000 mark yesterday. We're at what, 1,049. So it'd be nice if we can hold on that going into the holiday weekend, then kind of come back Monday positive. So we'll just see what today offers. If it offers a good setup, we'll take it. If not, or if we're not really sure how much we like it, what we can do is just downsize and not use basically a mini. So usually I trade a mini on those, but I do it in micros. I'll trade 10 micros. And this way I can spread out my contracts and shoot for different targets. Francis, did you get out of your position yesterday from that long you were holding from Tuesday? You said you were holding a long from Tuesday at like 11 o'clock. Are you still holding that long? You sold at close yesterday? Mm. what was your total points? Not necessarily you don't have to say P and L, but what was your total points on that soul? Capital, how often do you get into entries? Because I know with trading, some of the ICT setups, you definitely got to be patient and wait on those setups. Or do you normally take these setups that you've talked about where it hits the PM session and look for a reversal off the first touch of the previous PM? Oh, you don't pay attention to like overall points trade? So if you're just joining us, the big uh, wick candle here, that's a non-farm payroll this morning at 8:30. Oh, you're thinking we're dumping today, RPG? I'm gonna try not to go in with a bias because I'm just gonna do whatever happens. I kept feeling that for the last couple of days where I feel like, man, we just need that big sell off. But man, could we run up to the 23,000s first, then maybe pull back? Oh, that's a good one. Keep me from chasing the wild women. Oh, that's pretty good. They always do the opposite to make us lose money. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I want to say my biggest thing recently is just walking away from those red days, living with the red days, and come back and trade again. So that's probably been one of the biggest things that I've been working on, especially with funded accounts. Evals, I know evals what they're for. I mean, I do over trade my evals sometimes, but with funded accounts, I have not been over trading. So, like my one funded account that we've been working on for the last month or so, like I've had multiple red days on this account. It seemed like I got stuck around the 700 or 800 there for a minute. So I hit that 700 or 800, then I take a loss, knock back down to 400 or 500. Next day win again, then the next day I get knocked back down again. So we're almost in a 50-50 with this with our funded account recently. And it was kind of the same thing with our Apex account too. So usually with my Apex account, I take a break from it just because I didn't want to end up going tilt on it. So I moved to a different account. Because that's usually one of the hardest things, for a lot of people is living with that red day. Especially if you pop back in and do that old revenge trading. Let me double my size and go go in double the size, and then that doesn't work, then you're like, screw it, might as well just go all in, then boom, the count's gone. 847 is the draw on liquidity. We'll bring the other charts in the closer we get to the opening bell. I just got this up here because I know I'm not taking any trades probably. I don't even know if we'll get one at opening. A lot of times, whenever we got that much news in the morning, a lot of times the market's usually kind of choppy for that first 30 minutes until we get away from the news. So we'll just watch TradingView charts until the market opens. Oh, goodness. A lot of times I won't take trend line breaks like this off the 1 minute. Usually if I do the trend line breaks like that, usually I prefer to do it on the 3 minute or a 5 minute chart. So I like to see right here kind of what Capital was saying. Maybe if we trade back up to the 67, let this be one bridge down, then it goes back up like this, then get a trend line break on a little bit higher time frame. I don't usually take these kind of 1 minute trend line breaks because most of the time I always get kind of trapped in those. All right, so let's see if this is the 3 minutes here. So let's see if this is the next leg down here, and then we get that pop up to the 40s here, then come back down. So futures are still open tomorrow, but the stock market is closed. So no idea what the price action is going to be like tomorrow morning. But I think I'll probably be on the stream tomorrow because I have nothing to do in the morning. And I think the wife is working. So if I'm not doing this, I'm just sitting here at home. If I'm not staring at like some type of chart or something. What are we still? We got about 10 minutes left still. Oh, let's see. Oh, wrong one. Don't know if the Methodical Man's streaming today. There we go. Listen to some, usually listen to like music or other streamers or something while we're streaming. So it kind of makes the time go by when it's kind of slow. Woo. Yeah, Francis, that's why I said I hate taking that 1 minute trend line. So a lot of times these trend line breaks, man, I try to do it on the 3 or 5 minute because it seems like in my past, whenever I've tried to take that 1 minute one, I get faked out. So yeah, so down like 5 points on the break. Capital does ICT, does he do trading before the holidays, or does he usually not trade holiday the day before holidays? Oh, no, nobody knows. Oh yeah, I like the 2 minute too. You know what I used to do with the 2 minute, Francis? Let me show you. So like if I find an entry on the 2 minute, I would just follow the previous candle up and up. Like if I'm following the trade because I'm not sure how high we're going to go. And most of the time, if you can get that 2 minute, it doesn't usually come back and retest the bottom of the previous 2 minute and to see how far you can take it up. So say you got short here, then this candle prints, then move it again. This next candle print, move it again. So all the way down until you get stopped out. Because, yep, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. Yep. I don't know if anybody ever noticed that with the 2 minute candles. You do the same thing? Nice. I forgot where I saw that. I don't know if it was Methodical Man that told me about it. I think someone told Methodical Man about it, and he told me about it. And I started looking at that, and I was like, huh. But I don't ever use it or think about it. But I'm aware of it. All right, guys, 5 minutes before the market opens. Whew. I think I'm going to go grab something to drink real quick. I think I want some coffee before the market. Because like I said, I don't know if we'll be grabbing any trades for that first 15 minutes or so. I think I'm going to wait till after most of the news play happens. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. I'm just going to go grab some coffee. We've got about 5 minutes still. All right, we're back. I haven't really been drinking a lot of hot coffee lately. I've been mainly drinking like cold stuff. Home on your boom boom system. What do we got? All right. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of room back to the downside here. All right, guys, less than 30 seconds to go. Remember, guys, we're at all-time highs right now. Ten seconds. Woo. Yeah, this thing's just gonna squeeze straight up. It's not gonna. It's probably not even gonna offer an entry, guys. It's just gonna be one big boner candle all the way up to the 23,000s. Hmm. Man, we might be able to look for uh, a sell off that 23,000 up there. Capital, where do you get the levels at when you're at all time highs like this? Like, where does that 2313 come from? Oh, using the Fibonacci extension. Okay. Yeah, I don't guess I've ever used the Fibonacci extension. Maybe get another 50 pullback. We hit those 96. Oh, not quite the 90s, but pretty close. Hmm. See if we get that 50 bounce here. A little bit more. Nice breakout. For anybody that's into the breakouts, it would at least pay you 10 points there. The good old 90 drama here. Created equal highs there at the 83s. I guess that was the 50% pullback there at the 58s. No. Mm. $50 definitely looks like a nice bounce area here. Or maybe 38, 30 off of this wick here. That would be a wick here. I don't know if that's going to hold or not. So be careful if you entered here. We're about 5 minutes away from news. This was a previous high a few minutes ago, the 37, 38 area. See if we bounce off this 50 area, because that's also right there on top of this resistance here from this previous leg. So your 50 might have been a good play this morning because it's sitting right on top of this resistance. We got 3 minutes left. What do we got? Still 2 minutes. 2 minutes. What do we got? All right, we got 1 minute left, so be careful. These two here just are 9 and 21, Francis, and the 50 EMA. All right, guys, you got 30 seconds until your 9:45 news this morning. So just be aware that if you're in a trade, it could just go, don't know which way it could go. It's just one of those deals whenever you're playing news candles. You just kind of have to get what you get. All right, here we go. 5 seconds. Hopefully it doesn't do anything too crazy. Be right below that 9. This is eval only, guys. Play right below the 50 here. Stop loss probably needs to be way back down here. No, shit, we're going to get stuck. Damn, might have bought the high up here, guys. Looks like we did. Son of a bee. All right, got stopped out on that one. I thought we were going to make a quick little run here once we got above the 50% mark, that we'd make a run up to here. My stop loss probably needed to be right here at this previous swing, but that's just a lot to risk. Looks like it's going to go without us. We still got them 23s up there. What's the ES doing? The ES ripping? Man, the ES is just ripping up there, guys. We got more news at 10. What do we got? 9 minutes before 10 o'clock news. What sucks is that 50 area is still holding. The body never did get below that session mid there. Ah, damn it. That's the way it usually goes. Like I said, my stop loss should have been back here around the 30s. That was that previous swing, but man, I just really wouldn't want to risk that much of my account. There's that 23,000. This is your, what, 15-minute range here. The market only goes up. You're right about that. Unfortunately, it went up without me, Francis. I think Capital said we could possibly push up between, what, 15 and 20 on the Fibonacci extension. There's no way for me to get long now at all-time highs. The long was definitely back down in this area here around the 50 or session mid opening range high area. There's the 23,000s again. Man. So I think what we'll do is just wait till after the 10 o'clock hour to look for entry. We got news in about 3.5 minutes. Looking at the 5, no, that's 1 minute. Never mind. Say, looking at the 5 minutes. What do we got? 2 minutes left, guys. 2.5 minutes left. So just be aware that if you are still in your long here, whew. Francis, are you still holding a trade? So what we're going to do is just wait till after the 10 o'clock hour, and I think that should be the last of the news for the morning. All right, down to 1 minute. No. All right, 30 seconds, guys. 30 seconds. Just be aware that if you are in a trade, remember sometimes on these news plays, you won't get filled where your stop loss needs to be because there's no buyer or sellers at that location. I mean, it looks like it's consolidating to pop higher. Whew. It's like, man. Dude, like, how much more higher can we go today? Man. Nice. All right, sounds good, Francis. This is finally the... My goodness. Whew. I don't know if we get the pullback into the to retest those 23,000s. I'm so annoyed that I got stopped out. Man. This is insane. Yeah, I know. It's so hard to take these. The entry was definitely back down here where we tried to get long at around the 50s. I just didn't have my stop loss where it needed to be because I didn't want to risk that much because I wasn't sure. We're about to have a new printed 5-minute candle here. So you would think that we'd want to retest the 23,000s here. Stop loss too close. Yeah, I mean, I knew where my stop loss needed to be, but it was just so much to risk. I just got to start putting my stop loss where it needs to be and just accept the consequences. Woo. Now we just kind of have to sit here and just watch and wait and see if we get some kind of pullback. Yeah, Eric, these all-time highs are always difficult to trade to me. I always find them just because you just don't know where we're going to go. Oh, goodness. How does that work? Hmm. Hmm. All right. We're at the next whole number, which is the 50. It's really hard to guys to buy at all time highs. So right now, guys, we just got to be patient and just wait on some kind of pullback or some kind of next level. I'm not going to buy at all time highs. We missed out on our entry this morning. Stop loss really wasn't where it needed to be. We tried to buy once we got back above the 15-minute range here. Wait, that's not it. Is that it? No, it was back down here. I'm sorry. I think that moved. I want to say it was in here. We got stopped out on this candle here. And stop loss needed to be at 29 on this leg here. Hmm. Wow, I'm hoping this is just not the price action for the rest of the morning, guys. Hmm. Wow, is this finally the pullback, guys? Goodness. To me, it's still trying to hard to get long here, even with the pullback. Just being at all-time highs. Got a little 5-minute Romney candle there. Mm. 50 will be kind of my line in the sand. I want to see us get a nice little pullback before it pops back above the 50 there. Ah. Man, we're just trying to get 10 points off the short. I'm going to go to break even just in case it gets stuck at the 9 EMA. Uh, can't move. Yeah. All right. So break even on that one. So we bounced off the 9 there. I thought if we got through those 9s that we'd at least get knockout 10 points, then stay right above this 2-minute candle, and thought maybe we'd get one more push down there to the 20s. What's up, Solo? So far, we're in the red this morning. No funded trade yet today. We haven't had any kind of funded setup. The 50 is still banging. No funded trade today. We haven't had a funded setup. We've been at all-time highs. I would never trade my funded at all-time highs. Only evals only here. To me, I find it pretty tough trading all-time highs. I trade with a lot of caution, I guess. And we're still just ripping higher and higher here, guys. No, I haven't. We still been just waiting to see how consistent we are on our funded account yet. It looks like it's just going to be a straight. We're just follow that keep following the 9 EMA up here. Sounds like Nvidia is ripping at the moment. The FOMO candle, nice. Hey, there's nothing wrong with a little FOMO. I wish I'd have FOMO'd back in on my long down at the bottom down there. So it looks like we're just basically just following the 9 EMA straight up. Yeah, we're not even sure if we'll get any more entries today because, like I said, don't really want to be fucking all these all-time highs, man. It's hard to play these all-time highs. It's like the pullbacks aren't deep enough to get long, and they're just like one candle pullbacks most of the time. More upside to come. Another 50 EMA touch here. Or 50 touch, not 50 EMA touch. Oh, wow, there's news every hour today? Wow. Like market moving news or just like 1-2 star type news? Because I usually only just pay attention to the 1-star news. I mean 3-star news. Man, it's like, do we want the 24,000s, guys? No, I don't know if I'd ever want to be that famous. His chats are exhausting. He's just nonstop attacking. Yeah, those are the plays I've mainly been taking my funded account trades on. Man, it's like the NQ only goes up at the moment, guys. The 15 minutes looking kind of exhausted. Looks like we're consolidating on the 1 minute for a big pop here. All right, another all-time highs. There's another 21 bounce. See if we get another 50 touch. We've been bouncing off the 50 like at least 5 or 6 times already. Damn. There's your another 20 bounce. The pullbacks have just only been like 5 or 10 point pullbacks this whole time. Another 50 touch. So far, guys, that whole number 50 has just been a straight wall. You're in short. It's almost like, do we get a pullback all the way back down to the 23,000s here? Small play. So do you take your fifth? Do you take your short on the ES, brother? Mm. Man, is Nvidia? I said, man, it looks like we want the 24,000s up there. Are you still short, brother, or you just take small profit and get out? Whew. Gonna let's sucker the shorts and then go long. Oh, smoke. This is tough. Hey, brother, that's why I'm just trying to sit out, man. This is tough here at all-time highs. It's always like this at all-time highs, man. The pullbacks aren't big enough. So I'm just sitting here watching. Whew, this thing's just still popping. Still no funded trade yet, and we're still a little bit in the red on the one eval that we traded a while ago. But no funded trade. It may just be one of those days we don't get a funded setup because we would have to sell a long ways back down. And I don't know if we're going to make it back down there. If we do, it'll just be a slow grind. Sometimes I do like this 50% pullback on the lunch hour. And that's right back to the 2300. And you would give you a big fair value gap fill in too. We still got tomorrow. I'm not really sure what the market will be like in the morning. I mean, we won't have the no, I haven't. I haven't traded my funded futures in a long time. I try not to trade a whole bunch of different prop firms all at once because it gets a little overwhelming whenever I have a bunch of accounts. So I just try to. That's why I haven't really been switching back and forth between Apex and Bulanox as much. I've been just trying to. I was trying to build it up to 3 funded on Bulanox, then plus have my 5 funded with Apex, then just trade those for a while. Either I get them to pay out or I blow them. If I don't take any more trades today on the funded, we'll be up 1,049 overall. You're not trading tomorrow? Yeah, I'm not even sure what tomorrow will be like. I think it could be a little whippy tomorrow just because of the United States stock market's close. But sometimes those days are like good trending days. It's really hard to get long here at all-time highs, guys. Like I said, I missed my trading opportunity this morning. In a way, I guess it's kind of paper handing my setup. And once I did it, it was pretty much all over. Didn't really have another entry after that because we've been just moving straight up till we hit this part where now we're just grinding sideways. So I got long around here in the 50s, but then we had this one small little pullback, and I just didn't want to risk too heavy of a trade where my stop loss should have been at this swing here to be protected. And I got to get better at doing that. I know it's a little bit more on the higher side as far as the risk amount, but it's better just to do that and be safe, because at least if you know it comes back below this, you know we're probably going back down. So that's kind of what happened this morning on that long that we hopped in. And it's one of those deals where you know it's probably going up and it comes back, stops you out, then it rips 100 points. That's just the way it usually goes for, a lot of people. Everybody deals with it. All right, so here, I may try short, but the way we'll do it, we want to see the 50 EMA get hit. Hopefully it doesn't sell through. It'll hit, push back, find resistance, then sell back through. And we'll see what happens. Then maybe we can target the 50% pullback of the day. So that would be your 50% total move of the day here, sitting at 23,000. And that would be a eval trade only, no funded. But that 50 has been just a straight wall. I mean, it's just been a magnet over and over here. Let's see if that 50 holds here. Sounds like a Methodical Man. He's taking a long off the 50 EMA. I'm not a fan of the 50 here just because there's not really, well, I don't know. You might have this here. Might get protected by this. Oh my goodness. I gotta listen to some music or something, man. What time is it? Going on to 11 o'clock. We're only about 30 minutes away from that lunch hour today, guys. Oh, man. Yeah, like I said, if you're in Methodical Man's lobby, I think he is taking this 50 bounce here. There's not really anything around it like a fair value gap or on top of anything. But like I said, you might get a bounce off of these candles here because it looks like we ran into resistance here at 37, pull back, then went. So he may get a bounce here. The 50 EMA, Methodical Man's, he usually takes these 50s quite a bit. He did a really long back test on the 50s, and it actually, if you can pair it with something, it has like a 70% win rate. But see, to me, I'm not a fan of it whenever it pushes down there and not quite get there, then just constantly hit. I like it whenever it's just one full move, say like this candle here, where the candle just wigged down and wigged straight back up. I'm not a fan of it whenever it's like consolidating above it. So I don't even ever even think about taking it whenever it's this type of price action. It would have to be this type of price action where we go up, then come right back down, say hit the 50, then go right back up. But he may get a wick bounce here, but it looks like that candle was the wick test of this candle. You can see it. It's right there. See this candle? It's a little wick test, then straight back up. So I'm not sure what's going to happen on the second hit. See if you can jump over and see if Methodical Man's sweating a little bit. I'll have to see if Methodical Man will let me jump in on his stream when he's supposed to go. He usually goes to the beach with me and not just me and my wife, but he usually brings his girlfriend and his son. So we'll see Methodical Man in a week and a half at Orange Beach. I'm still waiting on him to show up in his Speedo, but he hasn't done that yet. He said he refuses to wear a Speedo until he lost a few pounds. Which I don't know if I'd want to see that personally. I guess from someone who, grew up in the 80s and stuff, like back in those old 80s, early 90s movies, every time there was a beach scene, there was always like this 300 to 400 pound dude in a little bitty Speedo. I don't know what that was about movies always showing that back in the day. All right. All right. Should be tagged in. Let's see what happens. Do we get the push back up? You're looking for 48 for 10 points. What? Is he closing his eyes? I told y'all Methodical Man's over there sweating. Like, that's taking way too long, guys. That should have been instant. He usually just does 10 points. He'll do a 10 and 10. So you're looking for 10. I don't know if you may get 9 because of that 20 EMA. Because what it is, you want to have at least 10 points between the 50 and your 20, which it looks like you did get your 10. Yep, you got your 10 points. Like I said, that Methodical Man did a really long back test on that 50 EMA touch, and he came up with a 70% win rate. Now do we sell through here? I'm not sure how many funded accounts he went in on that. Whew. I mean, it paid 10 point. To me, a solo, it's usually better whenever you got about 20 points in between your 50 EMA and your 20 EMA. Because the way it usually works, anytime we usually hit that 50, most of the time it's going to bounce back up and hit your 20. And as you can see, it did that exact same thing. Hit the 50 EMA, went all the way back to the 21 EMA. So I don't know if you're a Methodical Man. He said it was 3 out of 4 this week and 4 out of 5 last week. Yep, just 1 minute chart. But like I've told, I was the one at point, I used to tell methodical man about that all the time. But like I said, the one thing you want to make sure is you want to at least have 10 to 20 points between them. Like, you don't want to take this if your 20 is kind of on top of your 50. You want to at least have that 10 points for it to push back up there and hit the 21 EMA. And as you can see, it had exactly 10 points, and that's where it went to. It's usually a little bit better if you got 20 points. To me, I like it when it's like 15 to 20 points spread out. Now, I've never really tried that much on funded account, but I think Methodical Man is taking it on his funded accounts. We'll go to break even, just in case it gets stuck here. Might be just a break even trade. Yeah. It's so wicky in this section. Well, I thought maybe we'd get those all time highs again. I have to double check, make sure I'm on eval, because don't definitely want to make a mistake and take a funded trade. Keeps getting stuck. So we're still in the red on the day. Yeah, just on eval here. I thought maybe we would run these wicks up here one more time. I didn't know if this was just liquidity build up here, and I thought we would maybe get the breakout here. I mean, it looks a little bullish on the 5-minute chart. All right, guys, we're about to hit 11 o'clock. We're also in the macro time, so maybe this is the move here for the macro time, the last 10 minutes of the hour. Whew. Dude, this is rough. Moonshot incoming. I know, but how many times is it going to take to get up there? That's the hard part. Whenever we're just trading sideways, I mean, it could be like 5 to 10 candles across before we get it. All right, it comes at 60. Yeah, that was a nice 50 bounce today. Yeah, it looks like we're going to miss this one too, Francis, because we definitely don't want to like FOMO in. The boom boom knows all sells. That's pretty good. We already get some separation. Let's see if we can get a pullback to the 50. It's almost like, y'all think we get to the 24,000s or 23,100s? I meant. Hmm. Like I said, these entries are tough, guys. It's really tough to enter these entries when it's like just straight just consolidation all the way across. Is there anybody in a position right now, or is everybody just watching charts? You're long capital? Nice. You're in a little long on the MYM. I've never traded that. Yeah, same here, Francis. I wouldn't. It'd be nice to get another entry before the lunch hour, but I don't know if we will. Oh. All right, just made new highs again here at 70s. Now that's on the ES. It looks like the micros did not get above that level. You know what? I've noticed that sometimes too, Ninja, where like, let's see here. On the 5 minute, it took it, but this is also minis. This is micros. Yeah, it should have took out that 70.50 there. You still got the up signal. There's just no way for me to jump in here, guys. So what do we got? 2 more hours before the market closes? What is it? 11 o'clock. So we still got 2 more hours left. Or an hour and 45 minutes. Capital, are you still holding your long? Or did you take your profit already? Or do you have a number that you're looking for to the upside? $76. Jim, on the YM, the MYM, how much are the contracts worth on that platform? How much are the mini contracts worth? So does the YM, does it follow the NASDAQ, or does it do the opposite of the NASDAQ? Oh, that was weird. Ooh, I feel like I'm in an oven in this room right now, guys. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was just curious about it. So since you were talking about it. For minis, it's 5. Oh yeah, I see now. It tells you right there. I didn't know it put that on there. Whew. Right now, guys, we're just kind of sitting idle. We're just kind of stuck here at the all-time highs. There's just not really a lot to do. Come on, 76. Capital's looking for 76 if he's still in his trade. So we're approaching what? 11:30. So we're approaching the lunch hour here. All right, maybe this one little push here will finally get you up there. Man, are we finally due for the pullback? Goodness. We're kind of approaching that no man's time, the lunch hour, guys. Man, it could get really, really like sloppy slow during the lunch. Remember, guys, the market closes at 1 o'clock today. The futures market closes at 1 today. Oh. Nice capital. If you got your entry there. This is just a complete dirty price action, guys. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I was watching the YM because, like I said, I've never really followed the YM or never paid much attention to it. But it looks like they had a lot of movement in the YM today. Maybe we'll have to try that on a eval or something. Whoo, is this finally the sell? Man. We'll see what happens at this 50 EMA here. Remember, there's not 10 points between the 50 and the 20, so. Is this finally going to be the lunchtime reversal? It's a heavily manipulated market. I've never have taken trades on the YM or even really watched the YM. Wow, this thing just has no give at all. The 50% pullback still down there at the 23,000s. Are we finally going to lose this? Holy crap. Man, does this thing still have more? It's like it just wants the 23,100s up there. Yeah, it's looking less than like we're going to get any entries today. Because right now, we're like I said, we're just pulling back, chopping higher. The only thing about getting longs, like man, I like have no idea where it's going to go to the upside. Besides just taking out the, just constantly taking out the previous high wick. Whew, this thing's still ripping, guys. Man, I bet you might be a good sell off in the evening. The computer. You're using a AI for some entries or like a bot or something, Francis? Oh man. Damn bot. Good one. I know some people trade with those, I don't know how good they are. I think I've messed with one like one time, but I never really have any luck with it, so I just stay away from it. I know that I guess unless you buy the expensive ones, I guess they have some expensive programs you can use for that automatic trading. Man, look at the 50 EMA. It paid again a while ago. Man, it's like, do we get another little 50 touch here? All right, so we officially have started the lunch hour here, guys. It's 11:30. So it could just be straight grinding now for the next hour or two. And it's not like we haven't been grinding up anyway. So maybe this lunch hour will actually get some type of big move to the where it feels like the market's actually moving and just not grinding. But I guess it just takes forever to get through all this consolidation. Whenever we just those grind consolidations, it just takes forever to get through this mess. Hopefully, next week we'll be here to catch this pullback. I mean, the market is due for a pullback. We'll stay on here probably till 12 o'clock, then just call it a good. Just we'll come back in the morning and see what the market looks like. If there's any kind of movement or setup, we'll take some. But like I said, we're going to probably finish in the red today on our eval. The funded account, we took no trade today. All right, I'm guessing this thing does want those 100 levels. Talking about a battle to get up there. What is this grind started? What, 9:50, 10:50? Almost a hour long, just constant grind. Goodness. I like picking my pits out with the fork. I like taking the seeds out with a fork with the watermelon. I also like the black diamond watermelons too. All right, so the lunch hour just ran the AM session here. What's the opposite of catching a nightfall? I'm not sure. Never heard of the catch and fall knife. No. Wow, 10 points away from the 100 level, guys. What a grind this has been. It sucks that we pretty much had to sit here and watch this all morning. Man. Man, you would think that we hit this 100 in reverse. You wouldn't think it'll go through the 100 on the very first try. There's the 100. Nope. You would think that we get a reversal off this 100 level. I mean, nope. It's like the NQ is just not done here, guys. Yeah, I could see the 109s, that 110s. I always like the 110s. Don't know if this is going to pay your 10 points or not. If you decided to short the 100s. I would definitely be at break even if you did decide to short the 100s. But it did not pay 10 points. Maybe to do one of those deals where, you know, Capital's talking about that 09 where it goes up and here's the 9, 10 level, then pulls back to the 20. But I don't know what kind of volume we have to even do that. Oh, there's your 10 points finally off of the whole number. This is definitely one of these days where you can definitely get just ate up if you were bearish because you kept waiting for the pullback, especially at all-time highs. And you're just constantly getting stopped out because you're just you just keep thinking all time highs. Oh, we're gonna get the big pullback. But man, this is one of these days we just have not stopped grinding higher and higher on these small 1 minute candles. I didn't know if the pushback here would go back down to the 75. Because we hit the 100, a lot of times you'll get the pullback into the 70s before it rips back up through. Now, if we can hit the 20, push back up, find resistance here in the 90s, then sell back down, maybe then the short. But other than that, we'll just have to wait, which is also in the lunch hour. And the top of the AM session is sitting at 81. So I guess maybe if we lose that 81 level, could start heading back down into the AM session from this morning. Oh my goodness. Hopefully, if you were in the red today, hopefully it wasn't too bad. Nothing that's not too manageable to get back starting Monday. I feel like we're gonna have to wait probably till Monday before we get normal type trading sessions because I'm not really sure what tomorrow and the holiday is going to be like. I know it's going to be a half day tomorrow, but it'll pretty much just probably be the whatever's going on in the London session before it closes. Oh goodness. Capital, for that Fibonacci extension, are you just pulling from the previous leg to the high and see what it gives you? Oh, this last red candle here. Where's that? 80? Below 80? All right, guys. Like I said, we're only going to go till 12 o'clock today. I don't think we're going to get any more entries because, like I said, I've been trying to stay away from the lunchtime trading because a lot of times it's consolidation. I missed my trade this morning. I can even explain how I missed it. It's because I didn't have my stop loss where it needed to be. So we missed our original entry this morning. I want to say we got long somewhere around the 50. That's a mess. Not here. I think it was here. No, wasn't there. Let me spread it out a little bit so I can find it. Oh, it was right here. So we pretty much have just been watching the market. This was the trade that I should have called, but I didn't put my stop loss where it needed to be. So we got long here on this breakout here, but then we had one more candle pullback that was a little over 10 points. I just didn't want to risk much of my profit because it was still early, and so I didn't know if it was going to whip down. So basically, I should have had my stop loss here at the bottom of this last swing. But we got stopped out. Then after we got stopped out, it went straight up. So we're pretty much in the red for the day. No funded account trade today. I've tried a few little trades here and there after that trade, but they were just pretty much break-even trades. Oh, yeah. If you can limit your risk, we're just not hopefully losing more than a couple $100. It's definitely not a big deal to get that back. Because that was kind of what was going on with my funded accounts there for a while. So we can easier see. So on the funded accounts, we were going back and forth for forever, man. It seemed like we were stuck at 700. We'd hit 700 back to 450 to 500. Hit 700 back to 450, 500. We've recently have just started getting on a nice good track where we finally got over 1,000. I'm in Northwest Arkansas. So Central Time Zone. Yeah, where I live, my town is pretty much ran by Walmart. I mean, my whole town's basically Walmart. Like, they don't even allow any other stores here, pretty much. I think from my house, there's probably 8 Walmart stores within 2 miles of my house in every direction. That's how many Walmarts are here. It is insane. It's actually kind of nice today. It's in the 80s, so it's not terribly too hot. So I think like highs maybe like high 80s. So it's nice today. Walmart live out loud. I think almost everybody here works for Walmart. If they don't work directly for Walmart, they work for a company that works for Walmart. That's pretty much how it goes here. Yeah, I say about 20 years ago, what Walmart did to our town to make a lot of people move here is they made any company who sells anything in the Walmart store, they have to put a location. They have to have an office here. So we have a bunch of empty offices around our town because most of these people work from home, but they just got. Oh, maybe. uh, oh, did it come back? I wasn't sure. I guess I lost internet connection. I'm not really sure. There's a lot of construction going on in this area, so I don't know if AT&T is working on the internet here. That's the first time I've had my internet go out in a while like that. That never happens. I didn't know if we would lose the. It's almost like my charts are frozen on my. All right, so right now we're at the top of the PM session here, or AM session of the New York. My goodness, dude, the 50 EMA is paid again. I mean, that's like 4 times already. This 50 EMA is paid at least 10 points. All right, guys, so you got 1 more hour before the market closes. I thought we'd get a little pullback, maybe back to the 70s here. Pretty much about where that IBH is at. All right, guys, I think we're about to the point where we're ready to just call it quits and move on and come back tomorrow morning. I know, it's like, did we finally sell through the freaking 50 EMA? We've been just bouncing off that 50 quite a bit. Thank you guys for watching today. Sorry there wasn't really a lot of trade setups that we entered. We've been trying to be a little bit more patient as far as our entries go. And so if we miss our entry, we just let it go and just have to just sit here and watch price action. That's just the kind of way it goes sometimes, instead of just FOMOing in. Even though today would have been a really good FOMO day because we've just been grinding higher and higher. But you know, it's not always like that. So not sure if a lot of you guys are still here after whatever happened. I guess, like I said, my internet went out there for a few minutes, so I'm not really sure what happened with that. It's been pretty wild to see how many times this 50's played today. I don't know, like I said, whoever... I take these on evals, but usually not funded. I mean, it's offered 3 bangers so far. 1, 2, and 3, and all paid 10 points. It's definitely worth a trade on evaluation. I'm not sure about how you feel about funded accounts or real cash accounts, but if you're just trading a eval, it's definitely worth the eval trade. I don't know if we get back below the AM session of that 80, because that's the high of your AM session here at 80, that if we get the pushback down lower. And that may be the case in the, which we won't have a PM session today just because the market closes in 55 minutes. So this may just be the rest of the price action for the next 15 minutes where we just basically trade sideways until we open back up this evening. And even then, I'm not really sure what it's going to be like when we open back up, just because of the United States closer of the stock market. So, all right, guys, thank you guys for watching, and we will more likely be back in the morning, but not sure what the price actions will be like. More likely, if we get back on the morning, it's probably just going to be eval only. Unless we just happen to get a good setup for our funded. But I think just being a holiday, it's probably safer just to stay away from your funded, because you don't want to go on a long weekend thinking about your red account, because that's always the worst. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching, definitely, and chit-chatting. It makes the day go by faster when everybody's kind of chatting in the lobby. Thanks for the really good level call outs today, Capital. Sorry I wasn't able to capitalize on any of them.